Deb, can I borrow Daddy?
Yep.
I'm going to clip my leash to her if you want to unclip her, and she'll come right over to me.
Nothing.
Come here, Pumpkin. Hi. Oh, hello. Hello. So I've got my puppy, and we're going to talk about walking puppies on leash. So I'm going to give her a chance to sniff me and make acquaintances first. Next. Yeah, what a good girl. So if she's not jumping, I can reach down and let her sniff and lick me. But if she jumps on me again, I'm going to pull my hand away, or I'm going to turn away from her. That's very polite, honey. Good girl. So when we walk a puppy, so this is tip number one. If the puppy is pulling, you are not moving. So she's trying to do her own thing right now. Yes, what a good girl. But I am not moving with her. If my puppy is checking in with me, I can give them a treat and tell them how good they are. Yes, what a good puppy. And then we'll try to walk, and I can show her that I have more treats so that she follows me. Yes, what a good girl. Oh, that's a chewy one, isn't it? It helps if I hold the leash in my right hand so that my left hand is free for treats and I'm not crossing my body. Good girl. Oh, these must be yummy treats. You're very interested. Oh, that's very polite. Thank you. So as we walk, I'm not going very far and I'm not trying to move very fast. I'm just kind of going back and forth. Oh, thank you, miss.
She's gonna just help herself.
She is. She says, these are good, I like them. That's much nicer, thank you. Come this way. Yes, good girl. Good girl. So we're gonna walk. Walk, walk, walk. Wow, she likes this food a lot. So this is another tip. It's really helpful if you have super tasty treats, because then the puppy really wants to follow you and pay attention to what you're doing instead of do something else. But if she gets distracted, yes, I want to move away from the distraction, and I'm not going to move in the direction that my puppy is pulling. That's very nice, honey. That's very polite. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So we're going to try to walk a little bit again. What a good girl. She's going her own way. I stop. Yeah, what a good girl. She turned back to check in with me, so we are walking completely away from whatever it is that she's interested in. Because if I keep trying to walk closer to that distraction, she's just going to keep on pulling. Good girl. Yes. So anytime puppy tries to make their own move, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to anchor myself, or I'm just going to completely turn and go the other direction. And when I say a direction change, I mean a very hard direction change like this. If I just kind of move vaguely to one side, that's not as much of a directional change and it's not going to be as effective. And you'll notice that the less I've had the treats close to her and ready to go, the more she's kind of looping out and doing her own thing, versus, now you've just lost interest, Pumpkin. But if I have my treats close to her face, I can get a little farther maybe. But this is gonna be kind of messy when you walk puppies. They don't move in very convenient ways for us. So you wanna take your time, change directions often, and reward the puppy often. Good girl. Reward the puppy often when they are looking at you. Anytime they are doing what you want to cheer them on and reward them for that. If they're doing something you don't want, like pulling away from you, or going in a way that you're not trying to walk, you want to change directions, or you come to a complete stop and just hold that leash so that they are not getting farther. One thing to look out for, if I walk like this, look, I'm walking my puppy, they're in heel position. But she has a lot of collar pressure, and so all that's teaching her is that she still gets to move with collar pressure, and that's not effective and that's not what we want. Good girl. So be very aware of what your left hand is doing. because your left hand ends up turning into a steering wheel, and you end up steering the puppy, holding onto that left leash, and that's what we don't want to do. But if I just have a little treat here for her to follow, what a good girl. Yes. Yeah. Good puppy. Let's go this way. Yeah. Good girl. If there's a distraction, we're just gonna pull away, and we're gonna leave. We're gonna go a different way. Getting closer to the distractions generally does not work in your favor. Go ahead. They are moistened meaties, and I think it's I don't remember what flavor it is, but you can get moistened meaties that are like in a cube, and then you can get moistened meaties that are in like these weird little cylinder things. And they're kind of a pain because they break really easily, but they're also nicely puppy-sized and they're very interesting.
And
So,
tasty.
let's walk around the room a little bit. Reward your puppy a lot for checking in with you. Move away from distractions. If you have to move in circles, that is okay. That happens. And I'll mention this because I didn't specifically say this during my demo. We want our puppies to walk on our left side. That's the default side. Sometimes when the puppy goes into training later for a client, they may be trained to walk on the right. But in general, all of our exercises are going to be puppy on the left side. So you hold the leash in your right hand, and then you use the left hand to reward the dog. That is a little weird to get used to, especially if you're right hand dominant. You may want to try to give the puppy treats with your right hand, but it is easier if you do the treats with the left hand, hold the leash in the right, and the puppy walks on your left.